I could actually argue that it hurts the game more if they had given her a roster spot over someone more deserving.
So go ahead and argue.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their intention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team.
Stephen A. Smith has officially reached his limit with Molly Qerim's repeated criticism of Caitlin Clark. After one of the most remarkable rookie seasons the WNBA has ever seen, Clark's detractors have scrambled to minimize her accomplishments now that her campaign has wrapped up earlier in the season. However, voices like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe consistently pushed back against that narrative, refusing to let Clark's impact be ignored. Molly Qerim, in particular, emerged as one of Clark's most vocal critics, even claiming in June that selecting Clark for the Paris Olympics would have been harmful to the game, a stance that has only grown more controversial as Clark's historic season continues to speak for itself.
Rookie, ladies and gentlemen, put this in perspective. Caitlin Clark finished the regular season leading rookies in scoring, field goals made, three-point field goals made, assists, steals, and minutes played, and she led the league in assists and three-pointers made. Think about that for a second, and like Shannon says, ultimately, you first team, you one of those people. So
Clark led all rookies in scoring, field goals made, three-point field goals made, assists, and steals. Now, Molly Qerim is attempting to walk back her earlier claims, but Stephen A. Smith isn't letting her off the hook. By the end of the segment, it becomes clear why he's had enough of her Caitlin Clark criticism. Clark has already cemented her place in the history books with a legendary rookie season, shattering multiple records and leading her class in nearly every major statistical category, making the attempts to downplay her impact increasingly indefensible.
In the public eye, Ali was the greatest was because of the adversity. It's not to compare one to the other, because I'm not trying to do that. I'm simply pointing out that what goes on outside the court, the field, the ring of play per se, matters because your mental becomes incredible.
Perhaps the most remarkable part of Caitlin Clark's story is how she handled the relentless criticism both on and off the court. Despite constant mental and emotional pressure, she rose to the moment time and again, consistently displaying her true greatness. Her resilience was so striking that it prompted Stephen A. Smith to compare her to other all-time greats who faced adversity, persevered, and ultimately thrived.
Nevertheless, for Team USA's game, rife with stars, expected to blow out their competition, they drew the worst crowd. Lowest attendance of the Olympics.
Molly was among the critics who took shots at Caitlin after she was left off the Team USA Olympic roster. She argued that Clark's inclusion would have undermined the game, claiming Caitlin wasn't talented enough for the squad. But the reality proved to be the opposite. Caitlin Clark is pure box office, and without her on the roster, fan interest in the games noticeably declined.
Competition, it's about competition, it's about competition, right? How does it feel, Team USA, to have 6 games, 4 of them drew over 20,000, and the one that didn't still drew 2,000 more?
Some argued that if Caitlin had been on the Olympic team, she would have stolen the spotlight and distracted the group from its ultimate goal of winning gold. While that idea may sound far-fetched, it was taken seriously by some. Ironically, leaving her off the roster ended up backfiring even more.
Her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what.
Surely sharing the spotlight would have been better than having none at all, and that's exactly what happened with Team USA. No one expected the women's squad to struggle at the Olympics, given the gap in competition, which made it the perfect opportunity to showcase the team alongside a dynamic star like Caitlin Clark. Much of the criticism she faced was rooted in jealousy, a point Shannon Sharpe didn't hesitate to call out.
Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box.
After averaging 24 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game in August, Caitlin Clark was named Rookie of the Month for the third time and earned Eastern Conference Player of the Month honors. With that achievement, she became the first rookie in WNBA history to win a Player of the Month award. On September 4, Clark led the Indiana Fever to a 93-86 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks, delivering a dominant performance with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, marking the second triple-double of her career. During that game, she also knocked down her 100th three-pointer, becoming both the first rookie and the fastest player in WNBA history to reach the milestone, accomplishing it in just 34 games. It was also her third consecutive game with at least 20 points and 10 assists, tying Courtney Vandersloot's 2017 record for the longest such streak in league history.
Noise out there emanating from some, and those folks were very, very loud and conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving Caitlin Clark. When we pointed that out, we said why? What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all.
Stephen A. Smith also pointed out that many of Caitlin's critics were trying to hold her back, even though doing so was counterproductive. Clark is pure box office. Whenever her name is attached to a team or project, it drives attention, boosts visibility, and benefits everyone involved.
The conduit was her. Ultimately, it stood to benefit the collective whole. And rather than some out there accepting and embracing that, they resented it and they tried to use the contributions of others who came before Caitlin Clark to justify their vitriol.
At the end of the day, it came down to jealousy. Others wanted the recognition Caitlin Clark had rightfully earned. Ironically, their attempts to hold her back only backfired, as fans simply didn't tune in to watch Team USA without her.
Oh, by the way, it wasn't that anybody didn't think she was going to be successful or not play. It was just that we felt that other players in the W deserve shine as well.
Molly, I said...
Really, Molly? Wow.
They jumped on us. They jumped on us, Molly.
Molly was among those who tried to downplay Caitlin's accomplishments, only to later backpedal when her claims backfired. But fans, and even her co-hosts, weren't buying it.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Tracy Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
The WNBA is undoubtedly full of incredible talent, but that's no excuse to downplay Caitlin Clark's greatness just to highlight others. Doing so is simply unfair. Entering the league with sky-high expectations, Clark didn't just meet them, she exceeded them, shattering multiple rookie records, including triple-doubles and three-pointers. She immediately transformed the Indiana Fever and elevated the profile of the entire league. Despite critics like Molly attempting to minimize her accomplishments, voices such as Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp defended her, emphasizing that Clark's elite play, basketball IQ, and marketability earned her every accolade. Her performance has not only rewritten the record books but also positioned the Fever as legitimate title contenders and brought a new wave of fans to the WNBA.